just because they know each other so well.
Yeah.
And let's get into pick and ban for game one. See the bans on your screen right there. Glaive, of course, and then the Ringo, a curious strategy from GankStars, but that one ban forces both teams to do something very different. I really do think it's going to be Krull Adagio coming in.
Yeah. We were talking about this before. See also Taka as a choice here, but you know, Krull Rain from Invincible Armada, or rather from PKQ, has been showing that's actually a decent pick when played correctly. We do see Hunters picking up both Celeste and Catherine. No surprise there. It's really up to Godfather. What is he going to play today?
Yeah, that's the big question mark right now. And Rocky Zoro, what is he going to do? Is he going to play jungle? Is he going to play lane? And he could go back and default to the Scarf, try and scale into that late game. It's a very different style of play for him when he likes to be more aggressive early. And it will be a lane Adagio here, interestingly enough, from Godfather. So we are going to see something rather unique.
Yeah. He hasn't shown it here in this season, but I believe he has played that before. Maybe in the Invitationals where I'm remembering it from.
Yeah, he also played lane Glaive in the Invitational. And we're waiting on these very last picks. Araki Zoro and the rest of the GankStars crew going to be locking in. It will be Koshka, Celeste, and Arden. And we're going to get into game one right away.
The battle for the Halcyon Fold has begun.
Well, Valdez, we're here. It's time. It's the grand final of the Vainglory International Premier League. 2 foreign teams have made it this far. North America's GankStars up against China's Hunters. And we don't know where Godfather's going to go. Could be a jungle Adagio for all we know, and a lane Celeste. It looks like Godfather cheating over towards that lane, so that's what we're going to see. Going for the 6-shooter first. Just getting that attack speed because, of course, Adagio can buff his auto attack damage himself. And so attack speed, a very valuable stat on Adagio if you're building him as a carry.
Yeah, and I do like this Adagio pick just with the way that they've been playing. We were talking about that Ringo getting in your face, being a bit defensive, really peeling for Wands, allowing Wands to sit in the back. So, I mean, Godfather's going to be doing that as well on the Adagio, getting up in your face, getting that heal off, getting the slow. He's got to be careful. He's getting very aggressive.
And here comes Meek coming in early. There's a twirl, and the Vanguard already on him, giving him that speed boost. Godfather will survive, but an effective gank to keep Godfather back on that aggressive early harass. Does have the heal, though, or he does now that he hits level 2. And we'll see. Rocky Zoro. You know, we don't know him for playing a lot of Celeste or Scarf or some of these very positional late-game Crystal carries. It's a big test for him, especially because this team composition late is going to be all about him dealing damage and his ability to hit these skill shots, because Meek going to be mostly used for locking down a single target with a long stun on the ultimate.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if Araki Zoro is very practiced on the Celeste. If they watch the games from Hunters and practiced against the Celeste as well, and they're saying, hey, this is a great pickup, and you know, they allowed Araki to practice on this before coming in today, because they didn't just walk in the studios today and say, hey, let's ban Ringo, you know?
Yeah.
They didn't make that decision here. So I'm sure, you know, he's going to be very practiced on the Celeste. I feel like Celeste, one of the best heroes in the game right now, as Wands has shown everybody so far.
It's still a bold choice, though, to go for a Celeste mirror matchup when you know how good Wands is on that hero. You have to be very confident to say, all right, I'm going to out-Celeste Wands. Now, the advantage is you probably will have more items being in the lane. So, getting a lot of CS there if you are good at that last hitting.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. I do like it. The pick I'm kind of curious about, though, is the Koshka here for Meek. He's played it before, but definitely fell off in popularity. I think she got a small nerf in 1.7.
Oh, Wands getting caught out already, getting very low. That's going to be the first kill for Meek's Koshka. They found him out, and Godfather actually not reacting very quickly there, even though his lane was pushed up, sticking around, and his lack of commitment to that gank meant a pretty easy kill for GankStars. And Queen going to try and get the kill onto Araki Zoro, will land the stun, and he needs one more auto. She's not going to find it.
She got the stun up, but she didn't actually stutter step in between there. Could have definitely picked up that kill. Kind of surprising.
Okay, well now a little bit of a skirmish in the backside, but GankStars is going to go ahead and take the back camps out of the jungle. Godfather too low to really do much of anything, and Koldamik and Gabe will escape scot-free. So a couple bullets dodged there by GankStars. And they're going to clear 2 scout traps and then make sure Rocky Zoro is nice and safe coming back to the lane. And wow. So Rocky Zoro is going for a little bit of sustain and the heavy prism for some extra damage. Juan's playing much more defensively. Oak hard boots.
I think we saw this a couple of times in their series against Invincible Armada, going for a very fast reflex block in general. It's going to be great, especially against Akashka. You essentially need that item to stop the stun from the ultimate. And with Kashka already hitting 5, it's going to be some pretty good timing here, actually, for Juan. So I do like the pickup.
Meantime, Godfather going for 2 blazing salvos, so he's maxing the Agent of Wrath, and there we go, Gold Miner picked up for GankStars as Wands is in the back. But yeah, the double blazing salvo and the Agent of Wrath, so when he uses that on himself, he gets that extra damage against targets that he puts on fire. So he's going to be able to harass very effectively, but he does get hit by the core collapse, and look at the damage. Another kill, Koldamik coming in from the flank, and you know, Hunters really is not reacting well to their laner at the moment. Wands and Queen are not coordinating particularly well with Godfather right now, and it's leaving openings for GankStars to make plays.
Yeah, it's very true. Also a bit of maybe overconfidence here from Godfather. I think this maybe is one weakness. You can't really fight this. Maybe he thought it was only going to be a Rocky coming in on that Celeste, but getting too far forward, getting hit by the core collapse, and you are going to go down on a hero like Adagio with no, staying alive items, basically.
Yeah. So he hasn't really gotten a lot of harass off. You know, in spite of kind of picking for a lane bully here, he is very far behind in terms of CS. So Rocky Zoro going to get stunned, though. They can turn this into a kill. But Queen is the actual finisher of that. Hello, Solar Storm. A bit late.
Yeah. Again, that lack of communication here so far.
Yeah, Koldamik coming in, just gets the twirl off for some additional damage, and he will snag what farm he can out of the mid lane while they wait for Rocky Zoro to come back. But that large CS lead, if you want to take the Adagio and do a build like this, it's important that you actually are able to bully, and they haven't had that chance. They're going to go for the Gold Miner right now. Solar Storm is up for Rocky Zoro. Could fire it through. He will. He's going to land a huge one onto the back line. Wands gets low. Gold Miner still working away, and Koldamik now is going to get Godfather again, and GankStars just putting it to Hunters early.
Yeah, doing a great job. I don't really like the decision there to go for the Gold Miner once again. Not even near halfway. I mean, they were able to get a kill, of course, but with the minion candy there, it's just way, way too strong. And GankStars, knowing the potential for that kind of steal, were in a great position to stop it. So just going to get even further ahead. 2K gold ahead now.
It's nice. Get some extra money for the American Express, you know?
You got to end this one early if you're the American Express. So.
Okay, so getting back into lanes. Rocky Zoro falling a little bit behind Wands when it comes to levels, but Koldamik getting dangerously strong already with the Fountain of Renewal and the reflex block, so you can see Queen really lagging considerably behind, or Wands rather. And we see coming in right now, Koldamik wants to play aggressively. There's the Vanguard. He gets onto Wands again. Godfather's here. No sign of a Rocky Zoro yet. He's going to play Janitor and come and clean this one up. There's the ultimate onto Wands to finish it off. Core collapse onto Queen. They're going to chase Godfather. Great split in the fight by GankStars just to finish off. They want the ace. Good kiting from Godfather, but the Vanguard is there to provide that barrier, and they're going to see an early ace, and GankStars should get this turret and clean out the enemy jungle at the same time. Very decisive play on the map by GankStars.
That was probably Hunter's best chance to actually take the fight. It was 3v2 for a very long time, but they're this far behind already. It's very hard for them to take it at this point. So,
well, Koldamik's patience too, just waiting for the reflex block to drop before coming in with that ultimate. no chance to defend, so they lock it down. And look at the beauty of this split, too. They know exactly how they're going to clean up this fight. Gabe Bizzle's there to speed up Cole the Meek so that Godfather can't easily kite him out. And
keep him alive as well, because he was getting low there in that one.
and Celeste there split off to deal with the Rome player. So 6-1, Gold Mine protected by GankStars. Minion Candy already on that objective, and they jump out to a commanding 3,500 gold lead at 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, so far, Juan's not the most impressive play on Celeste. He's not really online yet, though. As you were mentioning before, that quick reflex block definitely will keep him alive in some situations. But yeah, not too much damage coming out here. He's going to buy a Crystal Infusion at this point and just try to come back in this one. But Iraqi Zoro also has his up and a bit better items so far. So still looking good for GankStars, but Hunter's trying to make it back in this one.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm not really convinced by this lane Adagio Valdez. It hasn't worked out. It couldn't do enough harass damage because GankStars was ready for it. Gabe is going to come in. Nice gauntlet over the wall. Godfather will reflex block, but it doesn't matter. Gets stunned anyway. And they get another kill. Now it's Heliogenesis Wars as the stars fall from the sky. But GankStars turns back, says, all right, take your back of your jungle once again. Problem.
Yeah. That was a pretty fantastic gauntlet coming out from Gabe. Really have to hand it to him, but also Godfather messed up his reflex block. He used it, but then he didn't walk through the wall of the gauntlet. And that eventually did after the reflex block went down and he got stunned, which secured the kill on him.
We've seen that a couple of times tonight, actually. So Cole Meek didn't even have to use his ults to make that pick. And now we're back to farm mode as GankStars just controls the map, dominating everything.
Team GankStars here in the crowd, and also AD0 hiding back there with his fantastic mustache.
Lurking behind. Okay, so GankStars just doing a little bit of farming, waiting again for that gold mine to fill. It's just a matter of patience right now for them. Not overextending. You can see just checking every brush with the Heliogenesis. And thankfully, those stars are different colors, so we can actually tell whose is whose.
Yeah, the purple ones here are Juan's. The red ones are, of course, Iraqi Zoro.
Okay, so GankStars just pushes as 3 into the jungle again, very patient, not overextending. Iraqi Zoro going to get hit by a core collapse though, and there's a kill. Gets found out. So couldn't retreat quite fast enough there. Koldemeek and Gabe Bizzle, meantime, is going to go after one of these jungle camps, but they have to be really careful about this. There's a nice silence from Catherine. And there's a stun. Koldemeek still trying to split up right here. Going to draw him into a nest of scout traps and fight around this gold miner there. They're going to just go for it. Twirl hitting a couple right there, and Koldemeek got to pick up one, ulting Godfather immediately afterwards. GankStars might take this 2v3. Solar Storm picks up the last one. Cross map for Iraqi Zoro.
That's the second time he's done that too. What is going on? You know, they ban out the Ringo and we were questioning the Celeste pick, but there's no question anymore that he's a fantastic Celeste player.
Yeah, brilliant play from Iraqi Zoro. He's been able to contribute to these team fights in spite of not even being there. And I mean, GankStars just know exactly how strong they are. Cull and Gabe Bizzle easily able to handle that 2v3.
Yeah. Setting up the gauntlet, trapping them within range of the gold mine as well to make sure that that damage is coming down. And then,
beautifully played. Right across, even hitting with that lead star too. So
yeah.
Smashing Queen at the end. And that's, I mean, it's really impressive to watch how well GankStars is doing here. Even when they fall behind, Iraqi Zoro gets picked off, they're able just to turn it around immediately and make a play in their advantage. And Gabe Bizzle going to come in here. Both boots used at the same time. They're after Queen. Queen will use the shield and escape.
kind of a funny usage there. No ultimate at this point, so the Arden not really going to be able to catch anyone unless he can speed up someone else. But he was kind of in the lead there.
Big part of that last team fight, too, was that Hunters grouped up and allowed a 3-man twirl from Koshka to go down. So they took a lot of kind of unnecessary AoE damage, but they were sort of forced in that position because they were caught in the gauntlet and they were trying to get away from the gold miner.
Yeah, it was essentially a perfect gauntlet out of Gabe that allowed that fight to go down.
Very good.
I mean, the mechanics of Cull, you can't really ignore that as well, but, you know, it all started with the gauntlet for sure.
So Gabe Vizzle going for the Fountain of Renewal Warhorn build. They want that heavy engage at this point in time. They don't want the kiting coming through, and you know, the Arden with his speed boost on the Vanguard and the team-wide speed boost on the Warhorn means that Koldomnik's going to have no trouble getting into position with the pounce to set up multi-person twirls and just deal a ridiculous amount of damage. How's that broken myth?
Celeste also, if you begin to win the team fight, she doesn't have the best chase ability because that core collapse has a pretty long cooldown. It also has pretty low range, so you just have to get into range to fire off a bunch of heliogenesis, and those the Warhorn rather is going to help out with that immensely.
Yeah, Rocky Zoro, look how far up he's up a core item with that Eve Harvest already done. Has the Crystal Infusion, so he is much stronger than Wands at this juncture.
Yeah, you were talking about how that lane Celeste definitely going to get some more farm, and he's been quite fantastic there. Has the biggest farm in the game, 132 CS at this point.
And here we go. Minion Mine will be taken. Second one for GankStars. They picked up the one on their side of the map and dodge out on that trap, and they're just going to go for a spawn Kraken, try and force another fight right here. Seems like a good idea. Only 3 turrets remaining for Hunters, so not much separating them from their first loss, not only of this grand final, but of the entire season so far.
Does look like Hunters may want to push forward and deny this, but it's already
down.
Before it even gets one attack off, Kraken is unleashed and will be pushing down the lane.
Godfather has the breaking point now, so he has had a big power spike when it comes to his items, but is that going to be enough at this stage?
I'm not so sure. Even a weapon infusion picked up on both Cull and Iraqi.
Interesting. Wands actually went for an Iron Guard contract. Looks like they're getting desperate just for money right now on the little farm they're able to acquire. Huge damage. Holy cow, Celeste just goes down over the wall. There's the follow-up, stun into stun. Core collapse following up on the gauntlet, and there's 2 easy kills. GankStars, their team fighting has been impeccable this game, and they're just going to push forward to a 15-minute victory.
Once again, the American Express is coming through.
That's right.
They're going to be able to get this win.
Yeah, very easily. Kraken taking hardly no damage. Clean as clean can be from GankStars with a very impressive Game 1 win here.